These are the answers to the Fall 2012 test number 1 for Computer Science 150. Question number 1. Write a program that will print the name of your favorite food. This is simply asking, do you know how to do a print statement? I'm going to do print pizza, being one of the most favorite of the different foods that people put down for an answer. Go ahead and run it, and here we go, prints out pizza. There's our answer to number 1. What does this program print out? Well, if I take this code, plop it into the editor, I can see that I've got 2 lines that are commented out, and when I run the program, it's going to ignore those lines. It's going to set x equal to 15, and it's going to print x equals 15. Lines 2 and 3 don't do anything because they've got the hashtag there in front. Question number 3. What does this program print out? We'll go ahead and copy that. Paste it over here. I'm setting x to 12, y to 13. In this question, the x plus y that we've got right here, between quotes, prints out the x, y here. The comma makes a space. The x plus y that we have here, not between quotes, treated as a mathematical function, and I get the 25 because 12 plus 13 is 25. Question number 4. Write a program that asks the user to type in their first name, then with a different statement, ask the user for their last name, store it in a different variable. Last, print both the first and last name on the same line. This asks the user for their first name, but I haven't stored it in a variable. To do that, I need to go to the beginning of the line here. I'm going to call the variable first. First equals what is your first name. Last equals input what is your last name. And finally, print first, comma, last. There we go. When we run it, there you go. I guess I am Palu Craven. What does this print out? I set x to true if x. Remember, with an if statement, it's going to evaluate, is the statement true or false? If I'm working with a Boolean, it's going to take a look at this. Does this evaluate to true or false? Well, it evaluates to true because I set x equal to true. And if true, I do line number 1. This happens if it's true. This will happen if it's false. In this case, it's true. What's going to be printed out will be A. I can go ahead and run this. And it prints out A. Write a line of code that will take an original item price from the user. Store the number as a float, not a string. Easy enough. I'm going to call the variable price, float, input, enter a price. There we go. Problem number 7. Continuing from the prior question, calculate the final price of the item if you add a 6% tax. Final price equal to the price times 1.06. I don't want to do 0.06. That'll calculate the tax, but not the final price. If I didn't want to do it this way, I could do price plus price times 0.06. That works fine too. The 1.06 will basically give me the 6% tax along with the original price of the item. That's where the 1 comes from. And then I've got the final price. Number 8, we need to go ahead and print out the original price plus tax along with a label. Print final price There we go. I could also put in dollars in here if I want to, over here. I did ask for some kind of label. You need to print out some kind of text along with the price just to get that part of the question correct. Next to each section, list the number that it prints out. Then x equals 30 minus 4 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is going to happen first because of the order of operations. That'll give us 30 minus 4 over 2, or in this case I've got 30 minus 2, 28 is what it's going to print out. Next up, x equals 5, x minus equals 3. That'll take x from 5, then I'll go to 2, and finally I print out 2. Prints out a 2. X equals 50. That's great. Print out x plus 1. That'll be 51. Print out x plus 1. It'll still be 51. I didn't actually change the value of x here. Value of x is still 50, and then I add 1 to it and print it out, but I don't change the original value. That needs like an x equals x plus 1 or something. I don't have that here. 51, 51. X equals 3 greater than 4. That's going to equal false. And I print that out. If x, well, that's not true. Therefore, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to jump to this and print out b. X equals 6, x plus 4. Well, I don't have x equals x plus 4. I just have x plus 4, the original value of x, unchanged. Therefore, x is going to equal 6. Then I got 6 plus 10 down here. And I'm going to finally print out 16. That's supposed to be 16. There we go. That's what's going to print out. This stuff doesn't print. 11% 2. Oh, what is this operator? This is a modulus. Remember? 11 divided by 2, give me the remainder. 11 divided by 2 is 5, but I don't want 5. I want the remainder. Basically, it's 5 remainder 1. This is what's going to print out. Not any of this. Prints out a 1. If it was 12 mod 2, I get a 0. If it was 13 mod 2, I get a 1. If it was 14 mod 2, I get a 0. So forth. Write code that prints the first character of the string, then the last character. Well, you need to print if you're going to print. My text. First character is done with square bracket, 0, square bracket. Strings and lists always start counting at 0. If I want to print the last one, print my underscore text. And I could either do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could also have done -1, 2 in here. That would work as well. Either way works. That prints both first and last character. Cross out the variable names that are not legal in Python. Doesn't say proper, it says not legal. Okay, legal. Not legal starts with a 2. Legal, not a very good idea, starts with a capital letter, but it's legal. 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 %, not legal. Not legal, it's got a space in it. Legal, has a $sign in it, not legal. There you go. Write a Python program that will ask the user for their percentage grade, then print if it is an A, passing, or failing. Grade equals int input grade. There we go. This asks the user for the grade, and it's stored into this variable. I could do float here if we could do percentage point of grades. Either float or int will work. If grade greater than or equal to, do not use an underline here. If you do that, it's wrong. You can't type that in on the keyboard. Well, you can, but it's complicated and it doesn't work. If grade is greater than or equal to 90, print A. L if grade greater than or equal to 60, print passing. Else print failing. There you go. Hopefully you can write a little bit neater than that, but that gives you an idea of how to do number 12. Number 13, how do you know if you should create a while loop or a for loop? In this case, you want to do a while loop if you want to loop until a condition is true, a for loop if you have a specific number of times to loop. For loop, specific number of times to loop. While loop, loop until a particular condition is true, like the user hits a key or hits a close button. What does this code print? All right, this is what's going to print right over here. I'm going to use this for scratch. This would be true. Nothing prints though. I don't have a print statement yet. This would be false. Because 6 is greater than 5, that's true. Is 7 less than 6? No. Is 15 not equal to 15? No, 15 is equal to 15, so this would be false. 15 equal to 15? That would be true. Print A, B, C, D. Great, so I'm going to print basically true, false, false, true. Running out of room here. If A and B. A is true, B false. Okay, both of these are true? No, they're not. So we're left with false and false. False means don't do this and do this. Print O. There you go. Question number 14. Write a for loop that'll print the numbers from 1 to 50 inclusive for I in range starting at 1, going up to, but not including, 51. So that'll give me up to 50. Print I. There you are. Write a while loop that counts by 5s from 100 down to 0. I equals 100 is our starting value. While I is greater than or equal to 0, because it's inclusive, print I, and I minus equals 5. There you go. I set I equal to 100, and as long as I'm greater than or equal to 0, I go ahead and print it out and subtract 5 from it. Can I do nested loops? Yes, I can. For, let's see, the outside is the row. For row in range. How many rows do I want? Looks like 6. For column in range, what is this? 5, 5, 11. Print asterisk inside quotes. I don't want to go to the next line, so I need this end equals. There we go. And over here, I want to print a blank line between my rows. There we go. Total of 4 lines of code in order to print out whatever sized matrix of asterisks that you want. Explain how red equals 25500 represents a color. This is the variable, stores a color. We can make it up. List of 3 numbers. This is red. This is green. This is blue. There you go. There's a really sloppy answer to that particular question. Draw a picture that shows how computer coordinates relate to the screen. Okay, here's the screen. Here's 0, 0. This numbers go up for x in a positive direction. Here the numbers go up for y in a positive direction. Normally it would be negative inside of Cartesian coordinates, but with computer coordinates it is positive. Use a for loop to sum the items in this list. For item in list. Okay, I need to keep a running total. Before I do this, I'm going to need a variable to hold the sum. I'm going to set that to 0. To begin with, the sum 0. Every time I grab an item, for sum plus equals, I'm going to grab that item's value and add it to sum. There you go. That's it. Use a for loop to sum all the items in a list. 3 lines of code. Not bad at all. What's wrong with this code? Enter your username. Whoa. What? And that's a name? No, this shouldn't be here. Okay, there's 1. Password equals, yeah, okay, that's same problem. And I don't need these parentheses here. There we go. Password and name don't need to be converted to an integer unless I got some weird system going on. If name equals Craven, okay, it's got double equals, that's good, but this should be inside quotes. There's no variable Craven. Or password equals my password. Boy, that's an original password. Input access granted. No, there shouldn't be an input statement. There should be a print statement. Else colon. Print. Might have been quicker if I just rewritten the code. There we go. Mark what's wrong with the code. That's what's wrong with number 21. And there is your test number 1.